Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the My Footballing Journey series. Today I'm joined by Georgie Cipregi, who is the Director of Football at Beerschot. They currently sit top of the second division in Belgium. The club is part owned by Sheffield United's ownership group. I first met Georgie last year and we had a great conversation, so I'm delighted to be able to speak with him today on the podcast. Welcome.
Hi, Joe. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's
Thank
brilliant to
you.
speak to you. I'm really glad that you managed to find some time in what I'm sure is a very busy schedule. This podcast is all about journeys. It's all about how people got into the game, what people do within the game, and where they're hoping to go. And kind of the result is conversations that help people who are looking to work into the game. And we have a Patreon. So if you're listening and you are interested in all of the other podcasts, the full unedited podcast, and you want to check that out, it's patreon.com/another nowhere man. But this episode will be available in full on YouTube and Spotify. So, like I said, the podcast is all about journeys. Let's go back to the beginning for you. How did the whole journey in football begin?
Yeah, Joe. Obviously, I'm a Hungarian originally, so I born and raised in Hungary. I'm 47 now, so I started my journey back there. I made my professional debut at the age of 17. I was a attacking midfielder and a lazy number 10, left-footed. So technically, I was always good, but if I see the boys now, I'm always telling them just work more. This is what I supposed to do, obviously, when I was younger. So I had a good career. And when we played in Europe against Lierse, a Belgium side at the moment, they become champions in 97, 98. Yeah. So it's like in a different age, to be fair. It's like 26, 27 years ago. So Cercle Bruges bought me. So I was 19, 20. And I ended up here in Belgium. I played here professionally in the Belgium second league, and then the journey just continued here, and I never went back home. I got married, 2 children, and then in 2009 I stopped playing football and I became an agent for 14 years until April 2022, approximately. So basically 2 years ago, when I get the question if I can do or help the recruitment at Beerschot here in Belgium, who is owned by the same owner, just like Sheffield United, and back then Châteauroux as well in France. And at the same time, Châteauroux has been sold. Sheffield and Beerschot left over, just like Kerala United in India and Al Hilal in Dubai. So I ended up here. I did a recruitment. It went well, to be fair. When the prince asked me by the end of the window if I want to be the sport director, technical director at the club. And to be fair, I was really done to be an agent. And I really wanted to sit already on the other side of the table. And there was just a wonderful chance or opportunity. I just took it with both hands. And it went well. It's the first season we become third. We couldn't get a promotion. This season it's going well. However, we sold for almost 2.2 million euro players, which is a pretty good job in the Belgium second league. It never happened here in Beerschot in the last 10 years. The supporters were burying us, to be fair, because they thought that we're gonna just kill the team. So you can imagine which kind of messages I received in June and July. And all of a sudden the recruitment went well again. And we are still top of the league at the moment. We have 5 more games to go. So 5 really finals. So the 19th of April, we can become first or second, ideally champion, and then we get a promotion for a first league of Belgium.
So, in regards to the role that you currently play at the club, I mean, we've talked about recruitment a little bit there. Do you have a hand in other aspects of the club as well, or are you quite recruitment focused?
That's obviously. So the situation is we are on the market to sell. So they want to sell the club. The resources are pretty limited. But on the other hand, it's just a Belgium second division team. So we do, and I don't have scouts, believe it or not. So obviously Sheffield United is there, but we don't have a really proper relationship with Sheffield United, which is, I think, it's not healthy. It can be better, but for some reason it just never happened. Just like with Shotaro. So recruitment wise, I'm doing it alone, together with a coach. We have a new head coach since January, because our former coach, who did a really good job, he went back to Austria, where he came from Las Clintz. At the moment, is Dirk Kuyt, is our coach, an ex-Liverpool player, and Dutch international. To be fair, he's doing a really good job. He bought into our story, to my playbook, which is I created, and that made our life much more easier. So I created a kind of playbook, which is the system is almost like written in a stone, because for that system, it's 3-4-3. We were recruiting players last season, so it's kind of, this is what the DNA of the club is. It's high press, attractive football. This is what club has been always like this, and I think on a business wise, Joe, that's a very attractive system to sell players, because wherever country you are, the second division, lower divisions, it's always a step between. So that's what we are looking for, and this kind of players that they can get a proper platform, maybe academy dropouts. Every player has a story why they are at the second league or third league, in your case, League One or League Two. It's always a story behind. But if the player story is still okay and his mindset is good, I don't care that he didn't make it at Arsenal or didn't make it at Liverpool. In my case, didn't make it at Anderlecht or Bruges, because if he's coming with the right mindset. So that was my purpose regarding recruitment. So the revenge feeling in them I was looking for, and just listen properly to their story.
Yeah, it's interesting you touch on there, that club DNA. I think you hear a lot of sporting directors across the globe talk about that. Like you say, I think, it's very important that the club has a direction it wants to go in, and the coach that's recruited suits that, because as we've seen all the time, the best coaches get snapped up by the biggest clubs, and you always have to be ready to go again. Are you always conscious of that and having to find the next one?
Yeah, of course. I don't have a problem with it, because I said, just like in a coach's life, the players as well, it's just a step between. So if they are coming to take our coach, it means that it's working. And the thing is that we created this playbook, is that it's not, I'm telling you, it's that easy, but it makes my life easier, recruitment side, because in this playbook, it's written the system, or offensive, defensive, which requirements we have. Also the profiles, obviously. We can't take names. It's impossible, because we are on those resources. And it's okay, the budget, that has to fit in. But we have a clear profile, how the wing backs to look like, which kind of abilities they have to touch, obviously, high speed runs, the maximum speed, very, very important to get some proper players in certain positions. And that's why it's very, very important for us to have clear profiles, because, as I said, we are working without scouts, which is insane in these days. Oh, what's this? So that's why that's how we do. I think the recruitment side, ideally you have scouts, and we have some voluntary that they are doing it, which is I do respect, but yeah, we are still doing it. So obviously the data side, the live scouting, and then mentality.
So are you yourself, are you using Wyscout and watching a lot of players on video then throughout the week?
Yes, that's what we do, basically. Obviously, our advantages in Belgium is that we are very well located. So it's Amsterdam is 2 hours driving, Rotterdam is 1.5, Dortmund is 2 hours, Paris is 3 hours, Lille 45 minutes. Even London is only 175 kilometers. So we are very, very well located. Germany, everything is around us. And we have a huge pool of players. So that makes my life much more easier. You guys have to always take the plane or take the boat, or even different countries, Scandinavia. You have to always fly. I just decide and I go today to Paris. I'm there at 10 o'clock in the evening. So it's much more easier. But what we do basically, obviously, we are filtering at first on position wise. So that's a position, what we need. And then we have a first view on Wyscout, obviously. And because of my relationships with clubs, in the meanwhile, asking already the physical data, which is something that you can give it or not, but obviously everybody give it. So then I have some physical data next to the images, which is, I think the physical data in these days is very, very important.
Yeah.
But there's a certain metrics that I'm asking, and they can provide it, which is I do as well. If somebody's coming to us to visit us, and I know that they want to buy our player, I provide it. And then ideally, in an ideal world, if we have time for it, we watch the player 4 times, 2 times I'm home, 2 times away. Ideally, I would see him on a training session as well, but it's definitely in England and more in Belgium, every training session is behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So we can't do that. So 4 times. So the data, images, live scouting, and then in the very end, the mentality aspect.
So
we have a high performance coach, more and more important.
Does your experience in the agent side of football help you, the network that you will have to dig on players' characteristics and their mental attributes, and talking to, other clubs that they've played at, etc.? Does that make life easier for you?
Yeah, 100%. Network is almost everything, or definitely a big part of it. We always gonna make mistakes, so everybody makes mistakes, but I'm always asking feedbacks from different angles, from the club, from the agent. It's sometimes it's a different story, even if you're talking about one player, but I can ask maybe a teammate that I know through somebody else, or his ex-team academy director. That's what I'm doing. I'm checking one player by 4 or 5 different angles, to be fair, because as we are on limited resources, so I want to keep the risk percentage as low as possible, but we still make mistakes, because that's normal. You're living in a fairy tale if you think everything is spot on. Absolutely not. But the one-on-one conversation with the player, the one-on-one conversation with the coach, player, and me, a high performance coach, that's absolutely crucial. As crucial as the data and obviously the live scouting, because as I said, we are looking for academy dropouts, somebody who has something to show, something to tell, to prove everybody wrong. This is what we were looking for, and this is it. It's working so far, to be fair.
So just for because a large percentage of the people listening will be English based, just to provide a little bit of insight into the club, where would BeerShot kind of sit in terms of the club's size and the ability of the players in relation to the English pyramid, in your judgment?
Wow, that's a good question. So obviously the club, first of all, is based in Antwerp, the second biggest city in the country. Our academic job or work, it's very, very good, because we got a biggest rival in the city is FC Antwerp, who become champion. They won the cup and they played in a group of the Champions League. But that's an artificial club, so they don't care too much about the youth. What we have, for example, Moussa Dembele at our youth academy, an ex-Tottenham player. We got Raja Nainggolan. He's also from Beerschot. Jeremy Doku, who's doing now well he's also from here, from Beerschot. So we have a good history of building up the players. And what I would say, I got DiMaggio Wright-Phillips at the moment in our squad from Stoke City. He's doing well. To be fair, he scored against last game. He'd already scored twice. He's doing well. He's a wonderful human being. We got Thibaut Verlinden, who played in Stoke. He's formed in Stoke. So I would say the stadium itself, as I said in the beginning, let's say it's a League One, League Two stadium. We have 12,000 seats, 12,711. At the moment, definitely we are the biggest club in the second league. So we got 7,000 at the moment. So which is pretty good for second league. I know it's even in the National League or League Two. For you guys, it's nothing because even on a Tuesday evening, it's full. But in our size, it's very, very decent. So definitely we are the biggest second division club at the moment. Regarding the quality of the players, I would say mid-table championship. If we would play against Stoke, Huddersfield, I think that would be a draw. By intensity, they could beat us, but football-wise, we would beat them. So they're definitely better than League One. I would lie if I would play top 4, 5, or going for a playoffs in the championship. No. But if I see that which kind of players are coming out from this league, like Julien Duranville, he went to Dortmund, and Arne Engels went to Augsburg. The guy from Bruges, he went to Leverkusen and Bemba. So Vinicius Junior, he went to Sheffield United from Lommel. Obviously, the City Group has Lommel in our league. So that's, it's a good question. It's hard to answer, but
it's difficult.
Mid-table championship, to be fair,
isn't it, as well?
Championship, yes. To compare the boys, we are playing very attractive football. We are in a high position. If you just watch the statistic a little bit, we never go under 65-70% ball possession. So it's insane. We got like passes between a 5 and a 650. So it's insane, but it's not always effective. We are playing naive.
Do you think that the high possession, the DNA that's in place, do you think that helps retain a nice solid crowd for the games because it's entertaining to watch?
Yes, definitely. Because the idea was to create one size which fits for the history of the club, to attractive football, as they say here, which is I'm not a big fan, but they say I want to see blood on the post. It's a little. It's too much, but this is the way they want to. They just push everybody up front. And in these days, if you talk about recruitment and you talk about attractive football and step between, so selling players, there is no other way around than to play this kind of football, because this is what attracts all the scouts. Let's say we played against Anderlecht a couple of weeks ago, 72 scouts we had. So imagine we are playing this boring 4-4-2, 4-3-3, this kind of, you have to have exceptional players to sell, but then exceptional players are not going to come to us. So we have to create exceptional players. And to create them, I think this is the best. This is my idea, obviously, that somebody can say, no, it's not true, but the 3-4-3, so high wingbacks, very high wingbacks, 2 inverted wingers. It's a kind of 2 number 10s that they have a free role, so they can go left or right. It doesn't matter as long as the high press is being done. The number 6 and the number 8 is also not written in stone, so it's pretty changeable as long as they cover everything. So the box to box, somebody, let's say the number 8 position, is just going up and supporting the attacking side. That's high intensity. That's a lot of high intensity run. That's a lot of kilometers, but it's implemented already in the boys by the other coach, and Dirk is just took it over. Obviously, Dirk is a Dutch guy, so he's been brought up by 4-3-3. But this is the system that they are using it. But he could change it, so he's doing really very well.
I think it's really interesting that you say, as a footballer yourself, when you were playing, you were particularly lazy, and your identity now is high intensity off the ball. Do you think that probably lends to the idea that football has changed?
Of course. The thing is that, so I think everybody who's listening, or everybody who's ever played football and he stopped, if you ask 10 ex-players, what should you do differently? 8 will say, I'm supposed to work harder. This is where we made a mistake. So this is what I'm telling to my boys. And it's not a cliche. You know, life is like, if you cheat life is going to take it away. If you give everything, and it's going to just put it back. And football is exactly the same. And that's when the mentality comes in, because obviously in England, for you guys, definitely in the Premier League, everything is 5 stars, everything. But the accommodation has nothing to do with mindset. So this is what I'm really looking for, a right mindset. It's everybody can tell in the beginning what you want to hear, absolutely. But then when the feedbacks are coming in, you can rely on this guy or not. He's really working, but he was unlucky, which word I hate to use, unlucky, because I don't think so. It's when somebody says I was always unlucky. No, I don't like this word. You know, to be a victim and unlucky, I just hate it. But there's always a reason. So that's I wanna hear the story. So yeah, to come back to this question, yes, indeed, that's very, very important to have a right mindset. Obviously, there's no other way around.
I think we started to touch there a little bit on mindset. I think I want to ask you a little bit about advice now. Thinking about people that want to work in the game on all sides, given the experience that you've had. Maybe people that are looking at becoming agents with the new FIFA agent exam, or people that are thinking of going into the world of scouting or coaching. What's a piece of advice that you give to non-players who are looking to start out and to have a strong career?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's $1 million question. Obviously, what I'm telling to everyone, and what the way they approach me, it's already very, very important the first time. So, if it's a young lad, you want to be a scout, let's say, you want to be a coach, you have to approach your local team and give your time for free. Just tell it, I'm here to help. Just please give me a chance. Whatever I can do, I will do. So you can't go there and put your CV on a table. Because to be fair, Joe, I have daily between 150 and 175 WhatsApp messages. So it's everything in it, from players and agents, everything. So it's insane. But if somebody's approaching me, that's me, or even coming to the training sessions, or talk to me. It's all depending, obviously, from the sport directors and the approachability of the people. Obviously, I can't judge everyone, but I'm pretty approachable, you know. And if he say, can I please start with under 12, whatever to do, just to help, you know, and then I always give to everyone a chance, and it's up to them how they're gonna do it. For example, I have scouts like this. They send me a mail, and he just say, please, can I do something for you? Because I heard, obviously, you have to do your homework before you approach someone. Not just a general mail sending to everyone. Nobody's gonna read that. So what I would do, have a face-to-face contact, go there and give your time for free, and be vulnerable, and be honest that I really want to start, and just go for it. And if it didn't work out for the first time, maybe go again, approach somebody else, but you have to do your homework to know what you are talking about. Why should I take you? What is your added value? And if you say, so yeah, because I can read that well, I just want to see, just give me some jobs. And this is what I do with university students. I got here now a guy who's doing internship for sports director. He's just studying here. So why not? And you know, you see it on a first or second time, we have a good connection or not. If it's not, I would say, no, sorry, it's not going to work out. So I think I would say as an only advice, just have balls and go to the club.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm here. I would like to help. You don't have to pay me. I just want to learn. And I think you are the good club, or you are a good person to learn from. I'm looking forward to it. And that's a different approach than just to go there and, yeah, here I am, and I will change your life. No, it's bullshit. Nobody's gonna take you. So ask questions. Ask questions. have balls and go there. I know it's not easy, but it's not difficult either.
Yeah. No, I like what you say there about vulnerability and being able to accept no and accept rejection.
Yes.
And
It's not
and like,
personal. It's nothing personal. And obviously, ideally, if I can give some tips, approach me when my club won in a weekend,
yeah.
and then approach me on a Monday. I will be, but if I lost in a weekend, I mean, then that's why you have to do your homework. Everybody's much more approachable when you won. You can't come to me. I mean, you can. I'm not gonna bite you, but I'm a different person because it is in the. As you know, you're working in the club as well. In the end of the day, everything decides what's happening between the four lines. That's pure business, and this is what we won last week. So this week is calm. It's nice. It's funny. We go again on Friday, 8 o'clock kickoff. If it's not working well, then I wish them good luck from Monday because it's a different Georgie who's there. Yeah, so that's how it goes. 100%. Do your homework, have some balls, and really go there. And don't take it personally if it's a no. Maybe it's a no, but just be busy with it.
Yeah, no, I think that's really sound advice, and I hope that people that are listening and members of the Patreon page take that on board. LinkedIn is absolutely your best friend, and like Georgie says there, you know, it's about doing your homework and it's about making sure that you're approaching people in the right way and accepting if it doesn't go the way you want it to and going again. I want to ask you one last question before I let you get back to the day job. Obviously, we're talking about journeys. Your journey is far from over. We're clearly in the middle of your personal journey through life and through your career. Do you have any hopes, medium to long-term goals? Do you like to set goals for yourself? Is there anything you want to achieve?
I think, Joe, it's very, very important. That's very important. So that's also my question always to the players. Where do you see yourself in 1 year, in 3 years, and in 5 years? And unfortunately, a lot of them, they just can't answer, which is, I think it's insane. Or they are afraid to tell that I want to play for Real Madrid because obviously they would laugh at it. But I think it's very, very sad because if a young lad is coming to me, yeah, in 5 years I see myself in Madrid. The way he says, that's obviously different. But if he says, at least he sees the big picture. So of course everybody has to set a goal. Everybody, just like me on this side of the table, the players, coaches, because that's why we are here. That's a top sport climate. You just can't be and wake up. Let's see what's happening today. No, it's done then. So why I see myself, obviously, in our case, I want to become champion, and it's very short term because it's in 5 weeks. Ideally, I would stay 2 more years in Bruges, maybe with the new shareholders. 2 more years, maintain second league, and then go for the Belgium first league, stay in the first league, maybe for a bigger club. But if they are not listening from Belgium, then I would say abroad a bigger club, not in Belgium a bigger club, because they're going to be upset. And I see myself, let's say, in 5 years in the Premier League. Absolutely. That's because England, yeah, I would lie if I would say that's not a dream. Of course it's a dream, because you guys' platform is the biggest. Even championship, there's nothing bigger than to able to work and enjoy football like in England. That's not a lie. So that's why I see myself. I don't see myself to work for a FIFA or some federations, because that's maybe when I'm 60 or 65, you know, but not yet.
When you're ancient.
I become an adrenaline junkie, unfortunately. So that's why I need the pressure. As much as I hate it, I just love it. I can't live without. But on match days, I'm just dying. But I love it at the same time. So it's very, very strange. Obviously, you are also from football, so you understand that. It's something that is just took us in. And that's, I think everybody needs to set a goal. Everybody. So the mistakes that I made, and I'm telling you that I'm not making mistakes, but not this kind of mistakes. The patient, just be patient and work your ass off. But be patient. Everybody want to go so fast. I want it today. I want it yesterday. I want it now. It's not. It's impossible. It's not working like this. Just be patient, work your ass off, and then it's gonna come. And just take the chances.
I think everyone that's listening will have gained some really, really strong advice from this episode. And I want to thank you for coming on and joining me. I've really
My
enjoyed this
pleasure.
conversation, and I think the listeners will enjoy as well. So thank you for taking the time. Thank you to everyone
Thanks
who
for
is
having
listening.
me.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you to everyone that's listening. This is episode 8 of the My Football and Journey series. To listen back to the whole series so far, check out the Patreon page. It's patreon.com/another nowhere man. If you're listening on YouTube and Spotify, you'll notice that some of the episodes are shorter. For the full episode, please check out the Patreon page. It's been a pleasure to speak with you, Georgie. I've been Joe, and I'll catch you next time.